And hello. This is Wednesday Warzone from the Garrison Archangel team. This is Paolore once again. I'd like to greet everyone a happy 2020. Here's to the development of the game. I was actually just checking out stuff. I know people are excited for 2020, but this episode, actually, we're just going to talk about our plans and our updates that happened over the holidays. As you all know, we released the public build last December, though the date eludes me. But all I know is it was before Christmas, and we promised to release the final missions for single player for public testing. And I see people have already tried it out and are already giving their what do you call this? Their feedback regarding the final missions, which is great. That means we can adjust it. If we find it too easy, we can make it harder. If it's too hard, we can make it easier. That's the reason all of this is in early access. But I hope you guys enjoyed the new like what do you call this? The new experiences we gave you for this game. Meaning it's not only archangels you're fighting; you'll fight giant ships. So I'm proud to say that those two ships, those aren't the only big things you're going to fight later on. This might sound like a spoiler, but of course, that's one of the things we were promising, like the past month, the past year, and for that reason, we'd like to keep this last enemy these last enemy types kind of secret because um, we want people to like when they encounter it for the first time, uh, they'll they'll have a new experience. The ships, let's just say the ships give you an idea of what it's like. But I'll also say that this new enemy is a bit different. It'll introduce some new single player systems that weren't there before. That's all I can say about it. I'm sorry, but that's it. That's all. And right now we can't show it off, and I'll make it a point not to show it off. We'll try to finish. We'll complete it. That's what these first 2 months will be for. We'll be completing the single player mode. We'll have all four routes, and that new enemy type will be part of the final missions for the Imperial Legion and the Separatist routes. And I know people have been waiting for this because there are people already saying, "Hey, go back to PvP, develop PvP." Yeah, we like I said, our goal is to finish single player mode, and once we have all four routes out, once we have that enemy in, we have those enemy types in, actually, we'll be able to like look at the game as a whole and like start fixing the stuff that's missing. One more thing we're gonna try to do is we're gonna pad out more like missions and more unlockables for missions mode. But the unlockables won't come in the form of like new parts for a while. But other things like lore snippets, like uh, you see all these status effects. There might be similar things in the future. Um, there also would be more like cosmetic stuff. I know people have been talking about that level, what happens when you level up. We have plans for that too, and of course we're gonna go back to like leveling up. And I'd like also just to say, so that's it regarding the plans. For the next 2 months, we'll be finishing up single player mode. That's it. That's basically it. Uh, I just wanted to make this like video to like update everyone, and because I know people they're looking forward to Wednesday Warzone. I'm sorry I can't show anything to you guys. I've decided to kind of keep this last push of the campaign secret until we release it, because I have a feeling it's also because when we released the ships, people were already like they had an idea of what to do, and of course I want to keep the mystery of the narrative, of the single player campaign. I do want to keep it a mystery. I actually applaud the people who tried to keep the final enemy secret. I think personally it's me as Paolore. I've done a bad job talking about it. I mean, it's part of the concept, it's part of the lore. I actually talked about it before we started the single player campaign, and the people who've been following us since then, they figured it out. They figured out, oh, it's those guys. So I do want to keep the final part of, because I know there are people who played till the level 50, sorry, till the 50th turn, and they'll probably be wondering what can cause that, what kind of thing fires a laser like that, and I'll just say we haven't released it so far, and that's gonna be our goal to release in 2 months. We're thinking February, then we'll have a month of testing, then we'll revisit other things like the netcode, because people have been requesting that. We'll also, in January, we'll also be tweaking weapons that people find to be weak. There are already people coming back and telling everyone their opinions on things, regarding things. They and yeah, we'll be reviewing them, especially because we have a new venue now that we're officially like linked with regarding the live action tournaments, which we actually live tournaments, live action. I don't know what to call it. Live tournaments, like with people around. We've gone back to that, and this February, I think the Spawn Point guys want to run another live tournament this February. So I'm hoping people will come by again. I know people want a online tournament, but I am not going to hide the fact that our net code isn't up to spec right now, because of course we also added a lot of stuff to the base mechanics of the game. So sometimes the net code, sometimes we overlook things and overlook things that haven't been like updated in the net code. So those things do take time to like update. So we'll be revisiting that, like I said, after single player is done. But we do try to, like, in between like our goals, because we have like schedules also when we try to, oh, strange noise. Okay, when we try to release certain things, we also try to do things in between that. We try to fix bugs. Just last week we released a quiet public update. That was a hot fix for all the bugs people were reporting regarding certain missions. For the people who reported, the mission bugs were unfinishable faces and like black screens. We hope these fixes fix that. I hope you guys are watching also. We also actually updated that to try and fix those. So like I said, in between like our goals for releasing certain things, we do try to fix stuff in between. So there's that. Right now, I'm just saying so everyone knows, our current focus is the single player. We just want to finish single player, get like one cohesive mode done, complete with an intro, all the endings, and complete missions. No bugs. Hopefully, no major bugs. And like a complete like unlock system. By the way, there was a guy was asking in the discussion forum where you can unlock the Zickenil Paranelia. Not to sound like a guide, but you can unlock it in missions mode. I guess spoilers are fine. I mean, I know we've discussed how certain manufacturers have it. I'll show it. So, like I said in previous videos, in missions mode you can help certain factions and they reward you by selling you more choice equipment. So the Zickenil Paranelia in particular, which is the shoulder cape, is from Montag. So wow, Eagle Man, Mr. Soups. Okay, let's just go with this. So equipment, shoulder. So it's an alternative of the shoulder shield, and it's developed by Montag. So you'll want to help the Montaglion Arms faction. They'll give you that. So I don't need to go into like solid details of what level you have to be. Let's just say just help them out. So that's what the missions mode is for. It actually allows you to unlock different levels of missiles, different levels of weapons. At least visually outside missions mode, you'll have different looking equipment. In missions mode, they actually power up. They become stronger stuff. So yeah, if you just want to play like have the feeling of like upgrading your stuff, I suggest playing missions mode, and you'll really achieve certain stats, speed, strength, power, armor. You'll achieve a lot of that, a lot higher stats than you would normally in the base mode. Because I know people who are following Garrison Archangel since the beginning. They've been playing this as a PvP kind of game. Yeah, the game has changed a lot. So even in PvP, our official tournament rules require arena sized maps. This is to limit actual like fly and run away gameplay, but it's something a balance for this kind of game, especially because you can mix and match. It's really difficult. Sometimes there's stuff that like comes in like slides in like unexpectedly, like certain combinations are stronger than others. I think at this point it's unavoidable. You will have some builds that are better than others, especially if your play style is more suited to a certain style of play. What we try to do is make it so that such builds aren't effective on all other types of builds. That's how we try to balance it. So if this build is strong, there should be a counter to it. If you build in another way, you'll have an easier time dealing with the build. Hopefully that's the way to deal with it. So there's a counter pick, at least a counter play. Because in a game like this where you have so much different systems and different weapons and different builds, like you can have varying speeds and armor and damage outputs, it's really hard to just make everything like balance against each other. So like I said, the best course is at least make it so that if you want to be overly strong at a certain thing, you'll have glaring weaknesses in others. And we have to make sure that those weaknesses are pronounced. So that's what we do to balance. Anyway, so that's it. That's actually the Wednesday Warzone. I just wanted to also greet you guys. Thank you guys for supporting us all the way to 2020. So I'm a little sorry that we don't have anything to show, but like I said, because the final part, I'd like to keep the final part secret. All I can say is we'll have some time developing it. Maybe we'll have some teasers in the future. Expect something soon this month. And our goal is to release this game, like full release, this year. Okay, so that's our like. I know we've said things previously, like third quarter of 2019. That didn't pan out because there's still a lot to do, and we're a really small team, so that estimation didn't pan out. And of course, there were lots of things we had to change, and there are still lots of things we have to change. There's still lots of things we have to add on to the game, actually. But those things are coming to an end now. Most of the things we'll have fixed after this are related to like fixing bugs and fixing existing mechanics rather than adding new content per se. The new content will be the new like boss fights and the new missions to finish up the Imperial Legion and the Piedrana Separatists. And other than that, yeah, I'm actually looking back on how long it has been. Like it's been like 2 years, 3 years 2016, we started this end of 2016. It was just an idea, end of 2016. Then 2017, yeah, 2017 was our itch.io days, I think. Uh, 2018 and 2019 is when we, released to Steam, and now we're in 2020. I can't believe how fast time flies, and the game has really transformed. Like, even compared to like an older version of the game, like just March of last year, I was watching a video. Someone wanted to point out something to me, and I was noticing that we have a lot of systems now that weren't there in 2019, and the gameplay was a lot different too. For one thing, Boost has been changed a lot, and we have the new the new drive, the new assault drive system for melee attacks. Because of course it became the old fear of speed builds just being able to outrun everyone resurfaced. So, and we found that maybe speed was buffed too much, having too much regen, having too much additional boost cap. So we tried adding new systems, and we'll probably be doing little tweaks like that in the future. Particularly this month, we'll be exploring a lot of those things, experimental stuff. For some, I know people have been asking about the nuke. We'll be releasing a preview version of the nuke that our idea is to turn it into a slow homing weapon, similar to our old idea regarding it. But we hope it's not too annoying. I know there are people who have played the final ship fight. There are weapons used in that fight that will be similar to what we're planning for the nuke. So that's that. We also introduced new systems for reloading the Wesp and other weapons. So those might also be revisited. I'm so late. I've been enjoying the input and development journey. Thank you very much. The last time I played the missions mode and finished the ships. Okay, yeah. I also agree with that. Again, this Q&A session's turning into a bug report. The ending text. Okay, we're gonna slow those down. Anyway, the ending texts. Also the story of the game. I know there are lots of parts of the story that people aren't clear on. There are parts of the lore that people ask questions about. Those will be there will be stuff added to the game regarding that. And gosh, when I think about that, it's gonna be wordy. I know that we have lots of Japanese players. They're the ones talking about the game on Twitter. I'm really thankful for them. I will make this my goal to get a really good translator or localization of this game. I just want to give it to the Japanese players too. So after that, yeah, that's it. And also I'd like to greet everyone, happy 2020. Boy, last year had a lot of changes. When I think back on it, we introduced the single player mode, the missions mode, and boy, there was a lot of new stuff, a lot of new people too. So it's pretty cool because we have a Discord. If you guys aren't in our Discord yet, that's where players of the game talk and make their suggestions. So anyway, yeah. So I'm really glad you people stuck with us, and there are people coming back also. So that's it from me. So let's look at the Q&A section and see what people are asking. Wednesday Warzone. Warzone is now live. Happy New Year. Looks like a short one, but for general audiences, will there be more special missions for companies? We'll try padding out the special missions. Right now we only have the end missions, and we did that so that there was a cap, a real feeling that you achieved the final level of this faction. We can make like we're planning on just making like padded out like easier missions. Also to pad out the lore and the establish the rivalries between the factions. They'll be similar to the earlier special missions uh, of the main four factions. So there. What is your favorite campaign special mission right now? I I would say I like the ships. I particularly love the Lapucel, the Ducaron flagship fight, but only because it's aesthetic. It's actually annoying because of the missiles they use. It's one of the more annoying missions. Sunfield Frontier final mission is also really good. I like the third fight, but people are saying it's easy, so we'll see after we finish this new final mission that we're talking about. We're introducing new systems that could like make a better like experience. Systems that we can carry over to previous missions and give an overall better experience for those missions. Can you unlock all campaign ghosts as presets now? Right now, it's really RNG based. So, but I'll say that fighting certain factions will tend to have you fight certain ghosts. I don't think we have a cheat for all the presets right now. So, and if ever we have a cheat, it's not gonna be publicly available unless we make like another promo like our previous cheats. Recycle weapons like shoulder handrail guns viable before release? Probably unlikely. We'll see. Uh, what we're planning is to finish single player 2 months, revisit because our original plan is like in February. Hopefully, we have the final missions out already. So people will be testing that, and while that's happening, we're fixing bugs and revisiting netcode and stuff like that. Maybe we can sneak in a few more weapons. Excited for nuke changes and WESP updates and flame dot rebalancing. Yeah, we're gonna see about lowering the flame status effect. Is there possible more translations of Garrison Archangel? We'll see about that. I know someone was offering to. Actually, several people were offering to translate it. I'll try after we finish all the copy. We'll make it public so that people can try translating it. I would like to see the possibility of mech slot allocations, like endgame instead of my docs. This is a feature we're gonna try and do. No promises right now. I can't tell you what our intentions are regarding it, like what our plan is if ever we go do something like this. But yeah, more and more people are having 50 plus, 100 plus mechs in their garage. So there's that. 45 plus. Yeah. So as for the question, how many ghosts are there right now? Hold on, let me check. Actually, that's a good question, but I have it handy. I have the stuff handy right now. So let me just open up the list of ghosts. Okay, ghosts wise, there are 60. There are 60 ghosts in the game right now. I'm double checking. Someone might not be here. Yeah, there are 60 ghosts in the game. Although the overlap with the roster, there's about 1, 2, then 20. 22 are in the roster. And the total roster is like 41. So some math. Oh, we have 100. We have about 100. Or no. I'm over. We have about 80 total like preset archangels in the game, arena archangels and ghosts. So you can encounter 80 different enemies in the game. Special enemies, of course. That's on top of the grunt enemies that you encounter, the angels, the other military hardware. There's that. So yeah, Thank you. Someone reminded me. We actually do want more people like sending us their voice acting. Um, we want to like put as much of the community in the game as possible. And one of the things we wanted to do is like get people just to say one-liners, and then we stick them on random grunts when they die, or when the grunts appear, they make a taunt or a one-liner like, "Oh, there's that guy, kill him." So that's one of the things we've been doing for like the past 2 years now, I think. Or did we just start it last year? I think it was just 2 years, 2018. Uh, so yeah, we don't really care. I think the more amateur you sound, the better, because you sound like an actual um, like an actual forgettable pilot, like a one-shot character gets killed. Even just funny death sounds, that's also acceptable. 80 with other presets, yeah. Will there be codex entries for the basic grunt type enemies? We'll try to put those in as well. I'd like to at least have lots of stuff in the codex so that people can just get lost in the lore, even if like on top of the game, on top of like at the end of the day after you've wiped out all these guys, then you'll decide, oh, I'll read the codex, and then they'll find out, oh, this special unit was like the long range grunt of Sunfield Frontier, and it was actually made with agreements with Stalwalder and or something, whatever. So we do want to do that. The lore we want to release in particular for the codex are stuff about the manufacturers and the different factions. We tried to put as much as we could into the emails, and some emails aren't in the game yet because we want certain content finished before we put those in. Some of those emails are in the game, giving context to what's going on, what the missions are about, why people are fighting. But we do want like a general outside of this conflict, this faction is an energy and mining mega corporation, or outside of this conflict, the March was an aristocratic family descended from the original colonists of this system, something like that. So yeah, of course we'll make sure the grunts aren't mixed with the ghosts and the arena jockeys. The jockeys and the ghosts are actually separate right now, so there's that. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we want to do for the. That's what we want to do for the game. So. Yeah, so wait. Okay, I just revisited another thread. People are challenging each other to PvP right now. I know people have been asking, why are there no people in PvP? I'll admit this is a pretty niche genre. People all over the world are they're on at different times, so you'll have a niche. So you'll have a really small population in one country, and they're up at certain hours. And the next time a guy is up in another country, and that's also a really small population in another country, they'll probably not even meet each other online if they play the game at different times. So on top of that, exacerbating that. So yeah, all I can say is, and also there are people who are just playing for a single player. There are people who are playing for a single player. There are people who want PvP. So our already small population of niche mecha fighters, mecha gamers, they're not even like playing the same modes, and yeah, that's probably why. And as much as it sounds bad, I think it's good. That means the game offers different things to different people. Although I will admit, yes, multiplayer is hard to set up. I suggest you guys join our Discord group. Get people to play with you. Steam remote play. We have a guy here who really loves PvP. He also he's also the reason we had to revisit certain things regarding balance. It also makes sure people playing PvP also helps us make sure our game is balanced. It's an actual you can say this weapon's overpowered, but have you actually fought someone who knows how it works? And PvP actually proves that. And sometimes I also join PvP. I also I also take PvP uh, results to heart, and that's why there's a lot of changes in the game regarding like boost. And we'll see how the game pans out. We're also trying to power up certain weapons that have been marked like low tier or whatever. So right now there are people disagreeing on whether the Vajra is a good weapon or a bad weapon. Someone says it's really good. Someone says it's really bad because you have to stop the reload. Rechargeable weapons are the way to go. But the guy, another is like saying the Vajra is really good because it stuns people. So, I in my mind, I like, I think that's good if people can't agree on a weapon being strong or not. Isn't that doesn't that mean the weapon's in a good place? I don't know. So we'll see how that turns out. The best way to really test these things are to come to the live tournaments that we hold. We're returning to that. Like last year, we had Cosmic Clashes. We didn't have a lot of online Mecha Melees AI tournaments, so I'll try to sneak in one AI tournament for you guys. I know people have been wanting that, and I think we had a fashion fight last year. Yeah, we did. So we'll try to have one more this year. But like I said, our goal is to complete the game, like go live this year, 2020, and time will tell if how far we can still push Garrison Archangel. I know people want more. We'll see if we can push for more. More varied auto-generated mission text would also be good. Thank you for the suggestion. We'll try getting more. 1 sec lib cooldown. So 2 seconds for 3. We'll see about that. Auto reloading weapons are in fact superior. Yeah, that's also what I'm. That's also what I'm thinking. I'm like, the Vajra looks good on the surface, but I noticed the people talking, singing its praises didn't actually use it in the tournament. So, and they were actually trash talking it. Like, there was this term in Tagalog. Sorry, I will speak Tagalog. Wala namang kwenta, basura naman. It's trash because you have to stop and reload. That's what they were saying about it. So, that's what they said. So, for me, I'm like, so hearing someone new or someone returning say that the Vajra is really strong makes me think twice about yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. People have been saying stuff where you reload is bad. So for when Emancipator was instant, yeah, Emancipator being instant was pretty bad. So we had to really do something about that. It's just that not many people were using Emancipator and not they weren't using the logic of a strong melee fighter when using the Emancipator. It's when people started like using the logic of I should stock up on armor and close range tools, and if I have the Emancipator, I'm basically more effective than most melee weapon users. So we really had to fix that, and we also had to fix the barrier because the barrier was also instantaneous, and it was also causing stuff in online PvP. So we had to add an animation to that. There's a lot of things we did thanks to people like feedback, people giving feedback, stuff we tested ourselves with the community. So that's how deep we are with the community. Like we are talking with them and comparing notes and stuff. So there's that. Happy 2020. Yeah, thanks. Welcome back. Never left. Just very busy. Yeah, I hope you can come back. We're gonna have a tournament in February. Can you open up your schedule? One of our older tournament players. We will try to run another live tournament. Hopefully, people bring new ideas, new techniques and stuff. Requires that placing a fast reload. It kind of is justified. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave you guys to kind of discuss and test for yourselves, and I'll see the findings. Right now, I'm not able to do tests. I know there's someone there waiting for PvP with me. I'm sorry, I'm not available tonight. I keep not being available, so I'm here doing this stream. but I'm not able to do like PvP with one of the players and test what they're telling me. So that's how our like dev cycle is. If someone makes a claim, we want to try it out first, see for ourselves, or if they have videos, we check it out. Or there's a lot. There are people arguing right now in feedback. I'm tempted to go right into there. I know I'm only supposed to answer questions on the Wednesday Warzone channel, but I know there's a discussion going on in feedback. So yeah, oh, okay, so they're not talking anymore, so okay. Oh well, I think that's it. So it's 10:30. It's been 15 minutes, so 10 minutes more, guys. Okay, so once again, sorry, there's not a lot we did. Not a lot. Single ammo shotgun should just be a new weapon. How would it be different from the Emancipator though? Should it be stronger? Should we make weapons that kind of what do you call it? Like if you have weapon A with lots of ammo and less damage, and weapon B that has one ammo and lots of damage, should there be a weapon C that's in between them? Should we go that route and just like artificially inflate our weapon count? The problem with that is we need to make more like visual assets. So I'm actually a bit against that. If ever we're gonna add new weapons, it's gonna be one at a time, towards making faster with less downtime. Yeah. Yep. So one of the things I noticed is the more you're throwing stuff out, unless the enemy is really good at dodging, you're usually in the lead if you're able to throw more stuff out in general. Or fast read. Reload internal. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that making a single ammo shotgun with really fast reload. Sounds to me that should be the railgun. We did show off like a teaser of a theoretical weapon, theoretical hand weapon. I'll just say the railgun is the closest one because we actually have tested it. So it's a single ammo reloadable railgun, hand railgun. So that might be a thing in the future. Okay, people are doing like weapon ideas now. I know we haven't had that weapon idea contest last year, and that was because we were really busy. Yeah, I know people are excited. They want to add more stuff to the game. We'll see post launch if we can have one of those. We'll see if we can continue this. So if we can continue developing post launch and adding more stuff. Okay, so I think that's it. Yeah, I know. People are saying this is unexpected. It's one of the surprise. Just one shot, whole round. Higher version, high damage, high stun. So it's gonna be like the Molnia or the Dragoon, but there's literally only one bullet, and then it deals high damage, high stab. So what will it be for the rest of the round? Actually, that sounds funny. I want to make a weapon like that. Like it's literally one use, and you can't reload it, and you have to use the secondary for the rest of the round. I wonder what kind of weapon would be fun with that kind of gameplay. Anyway, so yeah, AACC needs to hold up for a while until the devs finish the missions mode. Exactly. So you guys just prepare your ideas, and we'll see if we can have another one this year. So yeah, I think that's enough from us. 53 minutes have passed. Tourney in the south, please. Yeah, well, I'm talking with my contacts, and we'll see if we can have one in the southern Manila. Like I said, I'm open to people running tournaments in other countries live. For netcode, kinda, we'll see. It's after we finish missions mode, we'll see if we can fix netcode. I know a Japanese player was saying, "Hey, how about I run a tournament, but you fix the net code. I'm like, oh, I would like to say easier said than done right now because we have our own goals. But we will see about if you really want to run a tournament like a live tournament or even an AI tournament. We had several AI tournaments online that we didn't run. It was actually one of our players, and we just supported them. We gave him the we we offered adding the winners to our roster as a prize. We put his tournament on blast on our social media channels. So if you guys want to run anything, just run it by us. Tell if you want to run like a tournament, an online tournament, a live tournament. Just tell us, and we'll see what we can do. Like if you're gonna have a live tournament, if you're gonna record the games and put them online, that would be nice too. So yeah, I mean, the guy who's asking for the Southern tournament he should know some places. I'm sure he knows places that would accept us. So anyway, I think this is good. It's good to see the usual people and more new people and new and returning people back. And so it will balance some mobility from dodge cancels. Used as a cancel. Okay, so this isn't really like I'm just gonna read it. Someone's balance suggestion regarding dodge and cancels. Remove some mobility from dodge and cancels because it's too much of a combination of iframes, distance, and action cancel. It's a really powerful ability that everyone has. So reduce dash distance from a dodge. Reduce dash distance when used as a cancel. Then increase the speed mobility factor for base walking boosting and melee dashes to compensate from reduced dash distance. That sounds good. Actually, what I was gonna suggest is like increase or decrease the cost for boosting or increase like base walking stuff. Decrease the cost for boosting. That's one of the things I was thinking. To the point that we can revert to old boosting, because right now the boost might seem a bit. I know there are people who love how the old boost worked, but especially for melee fighters, it's pretty hard, especially because melee like locks you into an animation. Compared to someone who's just passively dodging, it's pretty. It's not a good. It's pretty bad. It's unsafe to attack with a melee attack. So we had to do a lot of things to make melee really strong. So Southern Manila. You should know some places, okay? Southern Manila. Anyway, going back, that's one of the things we're thinking. So I just thought out loud. Someone made a suggestion, thought out loud. That's one of the things we're doing. We're gonna try powering up boosting in general, or making it so that dash isn't such a big canceling, dodging, canceling and dodging aren't such a big advantage that having like one or two more is such a big advantage. So we'll see that. Yeah, they're gonna be sizable nerfs for non-mobility builds. That's why I'm thinking of just buffing boost all across, so that people can boost more often all across. But of course, speed builds will love that because they also have high mobility. Looking at how UGZ demonstrated some new meta trends, I would be surprised if speed armor builds get a revamp. Dash distance. I'm not sure how that syncs people on netcode. The netcode needs improving to deal with that, but the idea earlier was that dodging should be nerfed in terms of how far you go for dodging, so that people will use boost for spacing. Yeah, I know. That's the people are saying like if I power up mobility, then you just superpower mobility. Like if I power up general boosting, then speed becomes really strong because they already have lots of boost. So there's that too. But like I said, dodging right now, boost isn't actually a very important concept. The more important concept, strictly speaking, is how many dodges you can do. That's what people actually count, because boosting is kind of it's nice if you can do it. Um, I am a proponent of it because I run ranged speed builds. You want to speed boost to save on boost, but in actual practice, the superior option is usually just a well-timed dodge. And that's because dodge is such a powerful ability. It gives you iframes, it can cancel moves, and it's pretty far. It travels pretty far, so there's that too. That's why I'm also considering that. Maybe the more egregious, like if you just dodge, maybe it has like the biggest distance move. If you dodge cancel from like an attack or an animation, then the movement's reduced, but you keep all the effects, iframes and stuff. But your dodge distance is reduced when compared to just a normal dodge from not doing anything. And then if you dodge cancel from a flinch, that's the smallest. Like there's a really big penalty. Maybe something like that. That's what I'm thinking. That way, even if you're like a speed build, um, it won't be such a big. You'll want to play more safely rather than just canceling. But of course, that begs the question: didn't you play a speed build so you can cancel more often? So there's that. Anyway, yeah, that'll be stuff we'll be releasing for testing within this month. Like I said, there's a lot of experimental stuff coming to preview. Changes to weapons. I know there are weapons that people are saying, this has to be powered up because the payoff is pretty bad or whatever. Some people saying it's really strong. So we'll be receiving feedback and observing. So let's see. Okay, I think that's it. Yay, for real. It's already been an hour, so I think we can end here. Unless there are more people who want to say things. Reduce the use of after image unless it's counter dodge. Or use it as an actual module like missile chat countermeasure. We use the after images as a visual shorthand to say you're iframing during this moment. During this moment, you cannot be hit by anything. Yeah. So without the what do you call this, the after images, we will have to replace it with some kind of other visual shorthand like a blur or something. But the blur is not easily perceived by the enemy player. The after images do indicate like, oh, that's why I didn't hit him. He's like iframing right now. And yeah, happy 2020 to everyone. I'll end it on this note. Yes, I know. I know people listening in our Discord will gladly try our experimental stuff because they're the ones who actually like tell people, hey, this stuff, I don't like it. You make this better. They're the ones who are really vocal about that. Actually, I may sound harsh or whatever, but it's because of you guys that we're able to change stuff to the game and add stuff. So we're really thankful for everyone for helping us this 3 years. So that's the end of this Wednesday Warzone. Once again, this is Paolore from the Garrison Archangel team. I'm the producer, and on behalf of the team, we'd like to thank everyone for supporting us, for watching this Wednesday Warzone and giving me stuff to talk about. It's like the stuff we discuss in Discord about how balance changes happen, about new ideas. That was just what happened earlier. That was just me talking and reading what people were saying and just talking like I would normally do for a normal discussion. So I suggest if you guys missed this and want to have the same kind of discussion and the same feedback, I suggest you guys join our Discord channel. It's on the link. It's one of the links below, and we'll have like a dev team member around lurking or commenting on things. And you'll have other players from older players talking about, they used to do this, or this is what stuff is, or they're usually helpful too. Or if you ask a question, usually they'll say, "Have you tried doing this?" And I'm really glad for these people, for the people who stuck with us. They're making our community great. So I'd like to thank you guys. Happy 2020, and I hope once we finish the game, maybe in a few months, all things go well. Maybe March, April, something like that. April. Yeah, so we're hoping after that maybe we can go. We can continue if the game gets a warm reception, really good stuff, and we can add more stuff, or yeah, let's just be positive. The game, I know people love this game, so I have you guys watching, so thank you. Yeah, thank you for watching Wednesday Warzone once again. And this is the end of the Wednesday Warzone. Oh yeah, feedback and voice acting. Jeez, will gladly accept remix or recycle weapons, even if they reuse the same model like railgun and different slots or other things you have sitting around for models and animations. But yeah, campaigns comes first. Yeah, we'll try to get in as much stuff as we can, okay? And like I said, if things go well, we'll just continue adding stuff to the game, even post-launch. We'll see if we can do that. I mean, nothing's set in stone right now. The single player thing wasn't part of our original plan, so that came about. That coming about would have been unexpected back then. So anyway, yeah, thank you everyone for watching Wednesday Warzone. This was Paolore, now signing off. Sara, bye bye.